Hi, this is Bhavna and you're watching India Today. Today I have with me someone who always makes me smile with the honest and genuine conversations that we have. She's not only ruling the showbiz in India but also worldwide now. Anushka Sen joining me only on India Today. How are you? Annyeonghaseyo. Tell me just how does it feel to have attained this kind of stardom in your own right at such a young age?
I feel it's just the beginning. Honestly, the way people have been talking about it, for me, it's like I have so much more to do, I have so much more to accomplish. But at the same time, I'm so humbled and grounded by the opportunities that I've gotten. Because if you see, a lot of actors have spoken about it, that a lot of people have passion in life, but they don't get the right people or the right opportunity to express themselves or showcase their talents, right? And I have been really grateful to God, my parents, and everybody basically have worked with that they saw that in me, because we can be actors but somebody has to have that vision to envision us in a certain way, right? And I'm prepared, like I'm genuinely, it's not overconfidence or anything, I'm genuinely prepared because this is all I think about for 24 hours, 7 days a week. I'm obsessed with my job, literally, because every day I wake up and I love the job that we have because it caters to people, it's for the people, and it's sort of a service that you do for yourself, but at the same time you're doing it for the people. And it's just beautiful.
It's a co-dependent sort of, like.
So you're like, I know if I'm going to Seoul, like I spoke to you, you are happy to see me there. So that's what makes me happy about my job, that I'm happy, but at the same time people who look up to me or follow me, they are happy as well.
Absolutely.
Especially people who have followed me since I was a child. Like literally I started so young, and I've always tried to do something different, like be the fantasy show that I did, playing a freedom fighter, going to Khatro, being the first 18-year-old girl to go. So it's always been like, oh, this is something else, oh, a festival film. So it's always, and it's not by chance, it's been a very strategically done conversations have happened, and what should be our next move. So, and sometimes it's spontaneous, like just spontaneous moves. Like the singing bit, that is something that I didn't think I would do professionally, but I've always been passionate about.
Listen, you have gone and sang not in India, at Times Square. I mean, tell me who does that? This is not just spontaneity. This also stems from a fact that there's a certain level of confidence that you have in your talent, and I think that is very important, especially in this business. But tell me, what is Anushka Sen doing right to be able to do all of this with this conviction? Because I know of so many people, like you said, who have that intention of doing it, but perhaps are unable to crack it.
True, because I feel what I'm doing right, hopefully, like you mentioned, is just believing in myself, in my art. Because I feel if you're not confident in yourself, then how can I convince you to trust me, right? So I have to really believe that what I'm doing is right. If I'm singing, I'm giving my 200%. And I think it comes from hard work. It comes from experience. It comes from time. It comes from... So if you know that you're putting so much effort, then you know that no, I deserve this, I'm doing this. So when I'm working, I don't look at the clock and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be like, oh, itne ghante ho gaya, meko ghar jana hai, main thak gayi. I never say, like, it's a conscious thing, I will never say I am tired. That is one sentence I will never say. You will not hear me in an interview, you will not hear me captioning it somewhere that, oh guys, I'm tired. Because absolutely not. This is all I've dreamt about for
years,
as long as I can remember. People I've looked up to, that I'm not saying that I want to be like them because I want to be something nobody has ever seen. I want to do things that nobody's ever done before. But inspiration, right? Like Selena Gomez was somebody I looked up to when I was a child. But she was a singer, she was an actress, now she's an entrepreneur. So it's giving feminism, it's giving that everything is possible. You can be, an actor,
you
but
want to be.
You can do multiple things at the same time. Look at Priyanka Chopra, what a great orator, what a beautiful person inside out, and she's acting, she's in Hollywood. There's so many people now that, all the women that we have, it inspires me so much. Alia did her first walk for the L'Oreal show. That makes me feel like so proud. Like, it makes me feel like I know them personally. I don't even know them, but that makes me feel like, inspired. So I want to be like, when I grow up, I want people to look at me and get inspired.
I want to understand, what is that one thing that is keeping you going? Like you mentioned that, you are always someone who wants to take the next big challenge. Do you think that also comes from a place of security, because you've started so young that you've seen the industry as a whole, you've seen every facade of the industry in a way where you know that I can now take those risks and
Right.
challenges, because
Right.
I think a lot of people stop themselves because they feel कि अरे अभी तो आए हैं 4 साल ही दिया है, but you've given too many years to
True.
to be able to take those chances. Do you believe that happens?
Absolutely. I feel, like I said, that this is something that I think about when I'm waking up, middle of the day, like even when I go to sleep. Like my team gets literally concerned the way I talk about my job. It's like I'm obsessed with my job, and I am. And I think if you really love your job, that says a lot. That, you know, sometimes you feel, am I in the wrong business? Am I in the right business?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. When you're growing up, that's the basic question you will have.
Yeah.
But if something is not leaving your mind, that means something is just going right. You know
True.
what I mean? So secondly, the years, of course, the amount of investment, energy wise, time wise,
Yeah.
that I have given to this industry, it's obvious that this is something I care about, and that's why that security comes from the experience.
Yeah.
But I also feel it's not necessary to get security even after so many years. I've met people who still, you know, face insecurities, or they still feel like they're not in the right business, and it's
Yeah.
really unfortunate, because not everybody is destined to, you know, reach somewhere the way they think. Sometimes God has better plans or bigger plans, or sometimes different plans. Sometimes, like, I was meant to be a computer engineer and a choreographer.
Yeah, yeah.
What happened? Like, who did this? So sometimes, yeah. But I would also credit this to my parents.
Yeah.
Not also, I would credit the whole thing to my parents.
Yeah, I mean, their unconditional support is the thing that is keeping you going.
Yeah, because see, technically I'm a freelancer. So yeah, I'm a freelancer. It's not a steady job. So
Yeah.
sometimes it can get really concerning, and you're like, I don't know what's next
yeah.
month, what
Yeah.
I'm gonna do, what job is gonna, because you can't create jobs, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't create opportunities. All you can do is wait for that opportunity
Right
to come.
opportunity to
But I'm so grateful for the digital age that, okay, if you have nothing, you can literally set up your own chat show. You can literally set up your own, you know, cooking show, whatever.
True.
You can create opportunities for yourself. So it's just being aware. Obviously, awareness is important.
Yeah.
Love for the job. My guidance by my parents, my friends, and especially my parents, because they
Yeah.
have been those two therapists of my life who have helped me really take that direction. Because
Yeah.
there's passion, but if there's no direction, you're going nowhere.
Absolutely.
That's
I
important to
completely
know.
agree, yeah.
And fourth is just, sometimes you just need to let go. Sometimes you just be like, God, let's see what you do. Like this New York Times Square thing. I did not think this was going to happen, honestly. Because I recorded my song in July, graduation, and this was a very strategized thing, because I was singing for the COP28
Yeah.
Dubai event, right? And that's where I met AY Young. And we just got to talking, and I was like, I want to use music to do something more than entertainment. Like, I want to do it for creating impact, creating change, and opportunities for people who, you know, need me to do something for them, and use my numbers and my
Absolutely,
impact to create something, right? And I was like, music is something that unites people. It doesn't matter what language. Now we sway to Spanish songs or Korean songs or anything.
Always.
Right?
Always,
and
yeah.
I've seen people in America dancing to bhangra, like bhangra songs or Punjabi songs
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So music, literally art in
It
general,
transcends boundaries. I
yeah.
completely agree.
So,
yeah.
so I was like, I really want to do that. And then he was like, I'm working on these 17 SDG goals by the UN. Would you like to be a part of this? Then we had several calls and discussions like, what can I do? What can I contribute? And I was like, then he was like, what do you care about? Like, out of the 17 goals, what do you care about? And I was like, education. Then we recorded it, but back then he did not tell me that
But
our
you're
first
gonna sing.
performance is going to be Times Square. Like, hello, I have not even performed here. But see, that's what I say. Sometimes you just need to, you know,
Yeah.
let go and let God take the wheel. And
that also makes me interested in knowing how did the Korean thing. See, there's a huge wave that is happening. Everyone knows about it, but I think you're the first one to sort of take that stride and go get working there. I think which is a dream for, I'm sure, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just tell me, how did that conversation go? How did you land that first project, and how has it been so far?
so I think during COVID is when I first started watching K-dramas.
Which was your first K-drama?
Lee Min-ho show. Guess which one?
The Heirs. The Legend of the Blue Sea.
Yes.
Oh,
That was the first show. So basically, I started the Heirs.
Yeah.
But I don't know, for some reason, this was in my school, I think my 8th grade or something.
Yeah.
But I forgot about it. But legit, I started watching Legend of the Blue Sea. I was like, who is this? Who is this person? Who is this man?
I'm going to plug my interview here. Have you seen the Namaste that I got him to do?
I saw that. I was like, oh my god. I am such a huge fan. Honestly, like I love Lehman. I watched literally COVID, thanks to Lehman Ho,
Yeah.
my COVID times went really well because I just watched everything that he did.
Yeah.
And Shah Rukh Khan movies. That's how I survived COVID times, by the way. Shah Rukh Khan movies, the ones that I'd already seen, I watched them again because
Yeah.
why not? I've watched his
I mean,
films
there's
like,
no good time to watch.
Yeah,
It's just any time is good time.
mostly flights, maybe that's what I'm watching.
Huh,
Like
huh.
any film that I love,
Yeah.
that's what I'm watching. But Lee Min Ho, I think I started watching Legend of the Blue Sea, The Heirs, and that's how my COVID times went. And me and my mom became like K-drama buddies. We were like, we're
Wow.
gonna watch shows together, and this is gonna
Love
be
it.
great.
Yeah.
Then I started K-pop, listening to K-pop, and I was like, what is this? This is so cool, and the outfits and the fashion and K-beauty. And then I deep dived, and I was like, and
Yeah,
then
it's
I
a
remember,
rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole. If you're gone, you're gone.
Gone, yeah.
Never coming back.
The way they say for BTS that once you gym in, you cannot gym out. It's exactly that with K-pop.
That's exactly how it was. I was like, they are so cute. I was so, like right now also, I'm so confused between V and Jungkook.
He's your bias wrecker.
I don't know who is because both of them are my favorites. Like sometimes V, sometimes Jungkook. I'm like, how do I choose? You don't choose.
I get it.
You choose both. But it's okay to love them both.
I choose. I mean, but
V?
Yeah, but it's
Okay, then I'll take Jungkook.
This is like, what is this happening? They don't even care right now.
It's okay. Have you seen his army photo?
Listen.
Hello.
That's for another day.
But anyways, moving on to the conversation.
Yeah.
That's how my journey began, and I saw this email, and I would just randomly say, "We are Asians, no? We should be collaborating with them. We should be like working
Absolutely,
there."
yes.
And Han River, there's this bridge there, and I was like, "It would be. You have been there." So I was like, I really want to shoot there. I really want to go there. Namsan Tower, because every time they show first snow, Namsan Tower is like a
Beautiful, yeah.
So then I used to just randomly say this to my mom and be like, Mom, kitna acha hoga na if we go there. And then suddenly one day I checked my mail and I was like, what is this? And they said, Annyeonghaseyo and Asia Lab and this, that. We're making this film. We want to have a conversation. I was like, heck yeah. And then we did Zoom calls, and we did a lot of Zoom calls where they told me about the character. They wanted to understand me as a personality. And they told me they've been following me for 2 years.
How sweet is that?
So they were literally tracking my moves. They were tracking the kind of decisions I'm making, the kind of roles that I'm doing, the kind of outfits that I'm wearing. Like in general, what is Anushka Sen? Who is Anushka Sen? And they were so prepared because I remember that the calls that they were doing, who was translating, I was like, they know everything about me. And it's incredible because they're not from my country, right?
True.
But then it eventually just became like, okay, we should be working together. And then that's how my first trip happened. And after that, we did multiple trips, and then we did Asia. The first sked happened, and I was so happy. After that, I came back, and I remember saying in the media that I love so much that I want to be the bridge between Korea and India, because I knew that I'm the first person to ever do something like this. And I was like, I really want to be the bridge. And it happened. It got manifested, and I became the Korea Tourism Ambassador. And it's been a dream, and this was my 6th trip to Korea. 6th trip. And I'm obsessed. I just started my shoot for this spin-off series that we're doing. It's called Crush.
It's a film or a series?
So the film is called Asia. Spin-off series is Crush.
Okay, lovely.
And that's my first drama. So it's really special.
It is. And for all of us, because I know, how much ever anyone says, it is difficult to sort of, when you take that decision that, okay, I will enter this another industry, entertainment, but different language,
Also,
culturally
you're starting
very different.
sort of from zero.
Yeah, it is, right? Because here, when you go on a set, everyone knows who Anushka Sen is. But there, you have to create that.
You have to prove yourself.
You have to show the body of work for them to tomorrow say that, okay, we know who she is.
True. Like even not only there, I have to prove to India, because it's a huge responsibility. You're not only representing yourself, your family, you're representing your country.
True.
That's a major move, right? And I wouldn't say I never thought that I would rep my country, because I always knew as a child that I want to do something that contributes to taking India even 1% ahead. If I can contribute somehow to something. But I didn't know it's going to be Korea, for sure.
Can I just say I'm so glad it's you who is sort of representing us there, because I just want them to have that, because for the longest time, I mean, you can correct it if I'm wrong here, but there has been a perception about India that is what people say, at least when it comes to Korea. Is there anything that you had to sort of like did you face anything?
The only thing I faced is love. I am not kidding, because if you know how honest I am as a person, and I would tell you if there was something. But the only thing I've got is love. Like this time we were shooting and I was in like a leather whole assassin look, and there was this Ajashi and Harmony. Basically, what it means for people who don't know is like a grandmother, right? She was on a wheelchair. A remote control wheelchair, and she was just walking through. I was walking with somebody towards other direction. She was coming like this. She saw me. She literally stopped and she was, "No, you are so pretty." And she started a lot of things and saying a lot of things. I was like, "What are you saying? I don't understand." I'm like, because she just went like, "Yeah, I'm like, Anshi Manyo, itna Korean nahi aata mujhe, like chokam." So my translator said that, "Oh, she's saying that you're so pretty. Your face is so beautiful. You're the most beautiful person she's ever seen." And I felt so, you know, when grandmothers appreciate, that's a different feeling.
It feels personal. It feels like you've earned it.
And it's a normal person. Like, it's not like an actor, or it's not like, it's just a random area we were shooting in, and she just stopped for me and said that, you know, I'm pretty. Like, everybody, it's not only about the pretty, but, you know, the way they take care of me. They will not let me hold my bag. They will not let me, you know, touch the door. Just like in general, they will be like, subah I'll come to set and they'll be like, here's your coffee because you like coffee. Like, it's very sweet that, you know, they don't treat you like, I never feel like a foreigner. I genuinely say that Seoul is my second home. There's some connection that I have with that city, that country actually. I connect with people so quickly, touch wood. I have more friends there also. Like, I have so many more friends there. It's so surprising. Like, in the course of 2 years, I have made so many friends. I have so many uncles, and like, it's a family there. I swear to God. And I love it. I mean, you have been there. And you were telling me the story.
I completely attest to whatever you're saying.
Racism is not about the country. It's about people to people. And it's unfortunate if that's happening in 2024. And if it's happening, like, stop it. Like, come on.
No, and it goes both ways. I mean,
absolutely.
It's not about one country ever. Never. I feel it's kind of...
Can't blame the country for one person.
Those are people. I'm sure there are people who come here and they face. But that doesn't represent all of us. We are very
Indians are the most, like, we love guests. Whenever guests are here,
absolutely. But tell me something, what is that one thing that people come to you and ask? Because, like, we are curious about how Korea is or how Koreans are in general. I'm sure they are curious as well. When they meet an Indian, they'll be like, I mean, what is that one question that you get asked too often?
Food.
Really?
Of
Is
course.
it still just limited to curry? Please tell me no.
No. They love our garlic naan. I'm like, what do you eat it with? They're like, garlic naan as naan. I'm like, no. That's supposed to be had with something. You like have with the aloo, have with whatever. I'm like, you just have naan. They're like, yeah, we love garlic naan. It's such a nice. I'm like, wo aapne garlic bread bana liya usko. It's not garlic bread. But they really do like our naan. And they love our curries, obviously. But it's not like Pehle. Like, Pehle India was like, acha curry. But now we have our, you know, our whole cuisine of dal. They know our dal now.
They do? Oh my God, really? Wow.
They do.
This is an achievement. I'm hearing it for the first time.
I was on a flight. This is off topic, but I have to tell you. I was on a flight from New York to London to Mumbai. London to Mumbai wali flight pe, there was biryani, which is my favorite dish, obviously. But there was this dal makhani with naan. That was the best dal makhani I had.
Wow.
It was so good, and there were foreigners having that. I saw like all Firangs having dal makhani. I was like, yes, what a moment.
Wow.
People are obsessed with our cuisine, by the way. I went to America, they all order Indian food once a week at least. At least once a week.
Wow. I genuinely feel nice about it. But also because in Korea, I've realized that whenever any idol also they're mentioning Indian food, it's always just curry or naan. And I'm just like, this more.
But
so
I am very happy about it. I'm like, aapko kam pata hai? No problem. When you come, I will show you a new world of Indian food. Because no matter where you go,
it's like how
Indian food.
Absolutely agreed, and I think there's a lot of similarity between Korean and Indian food as well.
Right? I also
because
think
they like their side dishes, we like our achar and we like our salads, and like it's kind of similar, not
that
completely. Like you said, we are always we should in fact concentrate on all the positives always. But I also want to ask you, because you're dabbling with so many different hats at the same time, does it also take away from the fact that, you know, in your home country how people are looking at you, or at least because they would there is sometimes perceptions, which is a good thing also, but
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know if it works for you or against you, where
Yeah.
people would be like, "Arey, but she's now working in West
Right.
or she's working in Korea. I don't know
Yeah.
if she's gonna do this
Yeah.
or not."
Yeah.
So sometimes very good offers also are not offered only
Right.
because they don't know if you're willing to take this
Right.
on right now. Does that happen with you?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm really blessed with that sort of guidance from whoever's above, because I'm a big believer of Shivji. So I always like literally have a conversation with Shivji, and I'm like, "Aap meri raksha karo, like protect me and just guide me." Like you said, there's so many hats that I have to kind of adjust and be like, okay, there's singing that has started happening, because singing is something that comes from my Bengali culture. My mom is a classical singer. She's doing her Visharad in classical singing, so she used to be my teacher.
Yeah.
So 2-3 years I did classical singing, not knowing that in the
It would
future
help,
this would actually become like a whole profession. But see, this is what happens. Life will take you in different directions. You just have to be yourself.
Ready.
You have to be ready, and you have to also have that balance. You have
Yeah.
to be very, like, I feel sometimes it can get really overwhelming, so you can just get very in the, like, the purple haze that it comes with, right? You can just get lost. But if you're like the sanctity that is there, the core of you as a personality as a whole, if you just keep that maintained, everything falls into place.
True.
Talking about like Indian people thinking अब तो वो वेस्ट में चली गई है, अगर आप ऐसा सोच रहे हो बहुत बड़ी बात है, क्योंकि मैंने तो अभी शुरू किया है. I've just started off, and there's a long way to go. Even in India, there's so many things that I have to do, and I don't think that whole perception of somebody just because they're working outside can't work here. I don't think that happens. You know, a CEO can be a mother could be also
Absolutely.
doing something in singing and all of that. Like my mom, she's the biggest inspiration. She's a mom, she's also a singer, she's a great wife, she does so much, yet she, I don't know, like she does it with so much ease. My dad is also like, I have my own management team now, but he still is my manager, like he still is somebody who supervises this. But they all balance it so well.
And I don't know where the superpower comes from, because I feel they don't even for once say that, oh my god, there's so much to do. Like, I've never heard my mom say that.
Never.
You know, while she's dabbling between 10,000 hats. Because for me, even if I'm doing 5 things in a day, sometimes it can be like, oh, like, you know, you'd be like this. But I've never seen her do
And
that.
I'm a lot to handle. Like, I know, like my mom she's my therapist, she's my best friend, she's my partner in crime, and I'm so in awe of her, the grace that she has and everything. So I think that's why my inspiration comes from. So I don't think that there are people, even if they're thinking, it's their loss, honestly.
True.
Because I'm going to get my success, I'm going to keep doing my work, and I'm going to keep working hard. I'm going to do it.
And you
This
are
way or that
doing
way.
it. Okay, last question, because I don't have the time. I can talk on and on with you actually. But tell me, because you've seen different types of success since the time that you started, has the meaning of it changed for you? Because at one point, perhaps having 20 million followers could have been a sign of success for anyone. Or maybe bagging that one big film or that one big show could have been. Today, what does success mean to Anushka Singh?
I feel the meaning of success has not changed, because I've always been like a overachiever. Like I've always been like a long-term person. Whenever I used to, if you see my old interviews also, I've always spoken about, this is my 5-year plan. Like now I speak in my 10-year plan. That's how I operate. I don't see short successes, because I feel that kind of limits you.
True.
If you're like, okay, if I get a big film, but maybe this is your year to be a singer. Maybe this year is not about making films, it's about making music. So you don't know what life will bring to you. So that's why it's not short. It's not like, अच्छा मेरे को ये मिल जाए तो बस हो जाऊंगी मैं खुश. I'm not like that. I'm a long-term happiness, like success person. For me, right now, success is just keeping my head up, constantly working hard, and just being happy, at peace with what I'm doing. Because I've seen people who have money, who have the fame, but they're not happy. I just want to be happy like I am right now. That's what's important. That's
lovely.
success.
You know, I feel like I've taken so much from you, learned so much from you during this conversation. Genuinely, I mean, just looking at life and just looking at the way you're looking at work, I don't think a lot of people have that kind of a good head over the shoulder, which is very important. And I think that is one of the reasons why she's so successful. And
long way to go.
Long way to go for sure, but not many people can boast of the kind of achievements you have achieved.